He always is that.
That's when like defenders.
I think it's like
Are we live? People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. Again, I hope everyone's got a spring in their step on this Sunday morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. As I said, Arsenal beat Leicester yesterday, so you should all be feeling great. If that doesn't make you excited, then Spurs obviously losing. Ollie looks like he's keeping his job, so it is what it is. It looks like Crystal Palace and playing Crystal Palace, playing Brentford, and playing Brighton this season. 3 games Arsenal were killed for losing or dropping points. It seems like, whatever happened in the last Premier League run of fixtures yesterday, it seems like everyone looks at those teams now in a different shade of light. Today, you've obviously got Norwich versus Leeds. On the topic of Aston Villa against West Ham, I'm going to be doing a live stream for that. That's going to be over on Twitch, so make sure you're following me on Twitch. I'll be live from 4 p.m. and one of those sort of things, man. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Throughout this, obviously, I want to talk about Leicester versus Arsenal from a tactical point of view. I want to see what Mikel Arteta has had to say. Saka's got 100 appearances at Arsenal, so I want to touch on that, and I think that should be it, really and truly, man. So yeah, it is what it is. And obviously, I think, what did I title the videos? Because I might as well talk about that. Can we now see the process of what Arsenal want to create? Better yet, can we now trust Mikel Arteta's process? That should be the question, really and truly. And let me make sure I've copied and pasted that, because I want to offer my own opinions. Because personally, with respect to Arteta and everyone, I think Arsenal fans are getting ahead of themselves, really and truly. That's just me personally. Again, we're all allowed an opinion. Pardon me, and that's my one, really and truly. So we'll get over that. We'll get over that. In fact, let's start with that one now, man. Can we trust the process? Now, for me, I would say yes, and I would say no. I would say no because the jury's still out, people. I don't know about anyone else, but I haven't learned anything about Arsenal. And this is me looking at it harshly, because that's what it should be. We need to be realistic. We're not winning no league titles. We're not doing any of those things, but we sit 8th. We haven't got time to be finding positives where there are none, and going and getting excited when there's mad negatives and things like that. We need a balance, people. Man said if we win against Liverpool, I'll move between the fence. Bro, for me, it's literally come May, because all we need to go back is 2 games ago when we were, when Brighton and Palace were dropping points. People are saying it could be the beginning of the end for Mikel Arteta with this boring football and all of these sort of things. Now, the last 2 games that followed that, have been anything other than boring football. With respect, I'm happy that we kept a clean sheet against Leicester, but for me, I said it before and I have to say it again. I know Mikel Arteta can do his thing. I know on occasion he can set up teams and we can have perfect results. We did it against Leicester United, Chelsea, Spurs, a couple of other games last season. We've done it this year. Only time will tell. We're unbeaten. We've got we've got a good run of fixtures. Still question marks over man and game management, but we're moving fine. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give the shout. Again, at the start, people are saying we spent all this money and it doesn't look like there was a plan. You have to be fair. You can't be very vocal in condemning and silent when praising. It looks like there is a process. It looks like there is a system for our defense. To go up a level, game management needs to improve, dominate games a bit better, score a couple of more goals. But there is something, especially since the new boys have been fit. Now, for me, not everyone's going to be fit all the time. There's going to be injuries. It's been perfect. What happens when Gabriel's injured or Ben White's got a knock? Are we going to be able to play to the same standard? Or have a little, you get where I'm going. Not everyone's going to stay fit. Clearly, when Arsenal have a full fit side or near enough full fitness, one love to, Tavares for stepping in and whatnot. And actually, technically, Lokonga, because Xhaka's nowhere to be seen. Another thing people are saying, we miss Xhaka against Brighton. And What the? Sorry, folks. What the? Hey, am I still here? Nah, it's not even a BT thing. That's a laptop thing. The laptop just froze and it went black. I thought, hey, what's going on here, Arteta? But as I was saying, yeah, it's a consistency thing because we can do it on occasion. We've shown that we can't necessarily do it all the time. And I can't lie, when fans look at it, all we want is building blocks. So I'll keep it trill. Fair play. I'm seeing building blocks. I'm seeing something to get behind. I'm seeing the young players develop. I'm seeing stuff on the transition. Not all the way there yet, but there is some sort of plan. So you could say, all right, cool. Since the boys have been fit, you told us that they need to be fit and fair play. But I'd go as far as to say we haven't achieved nothing yet. And this ain't me trying to be negative. What have we done? You know, all that matters is where you finish in May. You know, we've done all right. We've got a tough game of fixtures to come. We stood up to be counted against Leicester. We're not going to win every game, but you've got Watford. Now you need to go and, you know, you need to go and get what you need to go and get 3 points from Watford because after that, you've got Liverpool. Now, you know, you need to put in a fair performance against Liverpool, but that would be the one fixture I would say is a write-off. So I personally won't go as far as to say we can trust the process, but I'm going to say we can see a process with it. Would it be for me? I'm seeing what you're doing with the young players. Still not convinced on our identity as a team. You know, the 4-1-4-1/4-4-2 served us very well in the last 2 games, and you could say that's our identity. But we've been at a time where we've had perfect performances and man are screaming 3 at their back. 4-2-3-1. So there's a lot of systems. But one thing I do like about Arteta this year, and I didn't see it so much last season, I am getting a sense of urgency. Like, you know, he's dropped Odegaard for a couple of games because with respect to Odegaard, you haven't done the job. You can't carry passengers. I wouldn't say Tierney's been dropped, but Tavares is now stepped up and is keen to see what goes on there. Took a bit long to bring Laka into the side, but he's kept Lacazette into the side. I do think after this game, he might revert to one up front because I don't think Laka was amazing, you know, in the second half. Managing Partey's fitness a bit more, playing Aubameyang a bit more centrally, even when he's getting Lacazette into the team, it's not really at the detriment of Aubameyang and throwing him out wide. And I would say the man management's getting a bit better. He's stroking egos in the right way. You see it with the post couple of days before we played Leicester. He's bigging up Aubameyang's captaincy. He talks up Lacazette. He's playing the game a bit smarter. So these sort of things, I am seeing clarity. Obviously, the final ball needs to improve. Our game management needs to improve. What we do when we're managing the game. And for me, especially if we're going to do this high intensity pressing thing, we need to know that we're going to get tired, really and truly. We're not going to do it all the time. So with that, we need to keep things in regards, man, really and truly. That's one of them. I don't know what happened there. Service battery. What's this? What do you mean the battery's not charging? Technically, the laptop's at 2%. What the fuck, man? This is bugging. One sec, people. This is bugging. I might just go on my laptop. I mean, my other laptop. I don't know what's going on, man. It's playing its own game here. It says it's on 6%. Now it's gone to 2%. I think this Mac is on its way out, people. I won't lie to you, lot. All I wanted to do is live stream, man. Should I switch it up? Is it too late to switch it up? Keep the opinions and that coming, people. We're going to find a resolution to this. I might just fling on my other laptop very quickly. Where is it, in fact? Because I can't take this bullshit that it's doing. What the fuck? It's just closing. One sec, people, man. We might have to just fling on the next one. If it starts bugging out one more time, oh shit, I know almost dropped. If it bugs out one more time, we're switching very quickly, people. I haven't got time for these shenanigans. But yeah, as I was saying, apologies for it bugging out. As I was saying, yeah, the jury's still out. I would say we can see a process now, quote unquote. We can see things, whether he's able to improve it, whether he's able to take it to the next level, whether he's able to show us the pro. Because for me, I've got to see what it's saying when it goes wrong. You know, everything's going right for us. We've had it our way. The sun is shining. We're in good form. You know, we've got a full fit squad. You know, I need to see it at its worst because you're not going to have, you know, even though it was a legitimate quote unquote excuse at the start of the season, a lot of these things are part and parcel of being a manager. You cannot cry about injuries. You cannot cry about not having the full team, about finding the system. So I still think the jury's out. For me, I need to see what we're saying. For me, and really, if I'm able to see a process or anything like that, will be in January / to May, because I need to know you can go from now, which end of October, beginning of November, you can go from now to that January 1st game against City. You're still in and amongst with a shout of getting Europe, what we should be aspiring to. Of course, we're not going to win every game. We're going to have games where we deserve to lose, games where we just been poor. We're going to drop points. But again, if we're doing things like that, I think people would accept that really and truly, because if I was really to scrutinize things and not to sound negative, why have we won 2-0 where largely Leicester haven't offered a damn thing against us, but we're still screaming Ramsdale's man of the match now? Testament to Ramsdale. Nothing against Ramsdale. Distribution, the saves were great. But our goal, if it was really, it weren't, the second half they hit back, but if it was really as clear cut, why is our goalie man of the match? Our goalie shouldn't have had much to do. Do you get it? So managing games, knowing when to invite pressure, for me, for me, it's the last 10 minutes of the game, the last 5 minutes of half time, before half time. I think we still need to evolve and go up several gears. Mikel Arteta, I still wouldn't say we're playing creative football. I still wouldn't say we're creating many chances or the chances we need, but I'm not expecting you lot to do much. So like I said, whether we can trust the process is another thing, but I think we're at the point where we can at least give credit and say we can quote unquote see a process. We can clearly see what the quote unquote what the identity in some fragments, because I do think once you get past that final third on our pitch, I don't think you see our system. There's been games we've played amazing. Smith Rowe on occasion this season has looked very good, breaking down things. So it is what it is in that regards, people. So yeah, there's some process. We can see a process. I wouldn't say we can trust it yet. Again, for me, it comes January, etc., etc. Apologies for the technical difficulties, people. Again, this laptop's just bugging out. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna fling on the next one quickly, people, because I can't take this anymore. It's messing it up. Keep your questions and all those sort of things coming, folks. You're gonna see live. If it's not correct, if it's not acting up still, you're gonna see live. What's going on, people? I'm literally gonna sign into StreamYard. Keep your questions in that coming. I promise I'll get to everything, bro. The stream's mad choppy, fam. It's jarring, and it's because I don't know why. I might need to get my other laptop charger. The Mac charger's acting. Me close this. Football Manager's all still open, man. We gonna pattern this, people. Don't worry, we're gonna get to this. So let me close that. Close that. Shush, man, shush. Where's StreamYard? This is why. Let this be a lesson, people. You always need backups and all these things, man, because things want to bug out. And you see why my laptop is bad, man, because it was working perfectly until we got to this point. So let me sign in here. Let me make sure that your questions don't get missed out. You lot are saying some interesting stuff as well. That's what's been smacking it. Let's turn on OBS. Fucking hell, that's... Scroll all the way down. Let's remove all of this shit. The background. Technical difficulties and a half, people. You know what? Considering the week I've had, you gotta take the rough with the smooth, man. You gotta take the rough with the smooth. I'll accept this, man. Let's put foreground, and then let's get the blank background. Don't worry, people. Normal service is resuming in just a sec, man. Let's put a blank background there. And let's go. Hit the like button if you haven't done such already, folks. Hit the like button if you haven't done such. Let's start the virtual camera. Let's obviously go in here. Remove myself temporarily, people. Don't worry, we're gonna fix this. But see, the other thing is, I can't see myself. There's another problem. Okay, that should fix that. I apologize, folks, but we've got to do this. This is a necessary evil somewhat. This is the tweaking and tinkering has helped. I don't know if it's helped us, because when it works, it's not seen as shoehorning. When it's another thing, other people say other things. So it's as silly as it is, it's subjective to when you're winning. When you're winning, nobody gives a shit. quite frankly, about shoehorning and the rest of it, people. One sec, I'm gonna switch these things up for you lot, people. So we're gonna see some certy stuff in a sec, but I need to close this. All right, we're back, people. We're gonna have to hold it up with this one there, people. I've just switched it back, switched up the laptops again. Bit of an unnecessary cock block. So you lot are gonna have to. I'm gonna have to do the tactical review on a different one, people. If I'm honest with you, you lot are gonna have to miss that. But yeah, as I was saying, keep your opinions and whatnot going and coming, people. I wouldn't, like I said, for me, I would say we can see a process. Whether you trust it is at you lot's discretion, people. I don't know what you lot want to say. Everybody's got an opinion, so I'd love to hear you lots, people. But again, like even Arteta himself, I like the comment. He said we're gonna get into his comments, but he's been saying everything. I've kind of been agreeing in that we ain't achieved nothing. We've, as stupid as it sounds, we've just won a couple games. Now, give credit. You know, we can't keep doing this thing when Arsenal, you know, we can't keep billing up sides, whether it's been Villa, Leicester, Spurs. And then when we beat them, focus on how poor these sides were, which they were on other hands. You know, I don't think Leicester was that poor. At least where the second half is concerned, they was in the first. But Arsenal can't be held accountable for that. Our job is just to turn up, try bring home the bacon and keep it moving beyond that point. Whether we're able to do that, as you know, sometimes it's two different stories. I like that there seems to be a bit more desire in these boys. Again, subjective, but it seems like things just mean a bit more to these players now. Like there's a bit more resilience. But at the same time, I don't like necessarily praising our players for resilience, if that makes sense, people, because you should always have resilience. You should always put a shift in. You should always work hard. You should always, you know, a lot of the way Arsenal are, and I'm guilty of it as well. The standards are on the floor. Like we're praising people for just being able to head in that, which again is true. But we need to not go. We need to make this the minimum. We need to make applying yourself the minimum. All the things that we praise when we win, it needs to become the minimum to the point where that is a real expectation. We're blown away when we're seeing us breaking with intention, defending in numbers, you know, strikers pressing all the way back. We shouldn't be blown away by that. You should be doing that, really and truly. It is what it is in that regard. I don't know why it says free. It says free because again, my last stream was Man United versus Spurs, and obviously, you know, if will it show it to you? No, that I don't think it will show it to you, but you can change the scores in it. Only the background change. So obviously, I've just quickly gone on there, but love for telling me that. You know, we're all aware of the scoreline. But yeah, one love to everyone that was there. So yeah, let me scroll the way back because I was hit the like button if you haven't. I was doing you lot dirty with. I was seeing hella comments. I was actually concerned that they'd be gone. If we win against Liverpool, I'll move between the fence. You should be on the fence already. You know, again, one thing that annoys me is many Arsenal fans. I'm not saying you, but it's like there's just too many extremes. Like it seems like the Wolves were back out against Brighton and Palace for Arteta. Now, you know, he's the best thing since sliced bread again. He should be a League One manager at the start of the season. He don't know what he's doing, you know. Which, if you believe these things legitimately, I can't tell you anything. But it's like, why do we have to move from one extreme? Why can't we just? For me, anyways, I tried to take this on a game by game basis purely because Arsenal have shown they're not the team at this moment in time where you could say, boom, there's 5 games, let's do this. There's 10, let's do that. You know, we might be fucking shit in our next game. Fortunately, it's been great. We've been able to watch Match of the Day for a while now. We're doing our job. Credit where due. But I'm only going to care about May because, with respect, I've seen us play well at the turn of a year. I've seen us go on unbeaten runs, and ultimately in May it means nothing. You know, again, I don't know if Arteta can sit there in May and say, "Oh, I finished 8th again." But do you remember that run in October? Meaty, you know. It's like Musa has said here. It's not perfect, but I can see some direction. And I think that's good because whether we win, lose, or draw, I am liking to the togetherness of what I'm seeing from Arteta and the players. Obviously, the fans, because when we lose, obviously that means it don't have to go toxic and things like that. You know, all of a sudden there's no pressure on Kroenke now, innit, people? Anytime we're ahead early and we win games, our keeper's man of the match. And obviously, on one hand, you know, that's because we have to withstand a lot of pressure. We need to remember the Premier League is very even, and teams like us, we are not a golfing class of anyone, so we have to expect that. But again, if Ramsdale was our man of the match in what was largely an untroubled test for us, I know in the second half, you know, Luke Thomas has tried to hit back, and you know, you see Luke Thomas, you know, Barnes has come on, Harvey Barnes has come on, and for me, he's done a lot of good stuff for them. They have tried to throw the kitchen sink, but it is what it is, you know. And I think I could credit the boys as well, because to pocket them players is not easy, really and truly. I think Rodgers would have probably, if he had his time again, that's the one he probably would have done, started Barnes. I still think if we make sixth, it will be a good season. I don't see us making fourth, but the squad is promising. Need a bit of depth, and it's only looking up. Khalid, I don't. If we finish sixth again, that's Europa League, innit? You've done the minimum. The target should be Champions League, as unrealistic as it might be. I think Europa League should be realistic. If Arsenal can sit here and they can't have Europa League as a realistic target, that's a myth. But on the same hand, I am finding myself a bit more optimistic. There is a bit more optimism, but on the same hand, in my heart, I feel it's more of the same as last year. So it's, as I said, it's down to these players. Whatever narrative they want to write, it's down to them. You know, it's really down to them. What I am liking is, you know, they're not resting on their laurels. I think there was a bit of complacency in the game against Crystal Palace, especially when we went a goal up, considering the form we've been in. I don't want to sound too reactionary, but after Villa, which again there was 1-2 moments, and in this game, I think that's gone. I think, you know, I think Arteta genuinely is trying to preach the fact that, listen, everybody's giving you plaudits, but you lot ain't achieved nothing. You lot ain't won or done nothing. Things can get gazy very quickly. And the same way these lot are, you know, the Arsenal players must be bewildered, because these same media people that praise you to high heavens, they've criticized you, criticized the club, criticized the working process, all of these things. So, as I said, it's down to these players what narrative they want to write. You know, if they want to have a positive season, they'll make sure they have a positive season. Everyone's going to get injuries. Everyone's going to get suspensions. Everyone's going to drop points. What I liked, especially with last night, obviously, again, we're in October. I'm not saying we're going to get Europe, but you won your game. You kicked off the week first. You won your game. Whatever happens in the Spurs United and, you know, any other people that are trying to get Europe and dropping points and taking points, it's irrelevant, because for us now, we can go into this game saying, you know what, Villa, even though you know, Mikel Antonio's there, Villa, can you do us a job and beat West Ham? Because if they beat West Ham with United, well, you know, we would have loved the draw. But Spurs, another rival for Europa League potentially, they've dropped points. We need to be able to take points. Even Leicester City, they've been fighting for the Champions League, and if we're honest, they've bottled the Champions League in the last 2 years. But where have they been? The Europa League. So when you win your games and you hold yourself accountable, everything takes care of itself. Now, there's going to be points in the season where, same way we've gone through a wavy bit of form, we're going to struggle at points. Same way we probably deserve to not get nothing out of the Brighton game. We're going to get nothing from that game. The Palace game, they might just turn it around and beat us. You know, there might be some late dramatics with Leicester. I don't want to say we've got away with it, because we've earned our luck, but these are the things. So it's down to us to keep, and the fans as well, to keep balance, because, you know, when we do lose that first game again, but it's going to be irrelevant. It's going to anything that's happened beyond that is irrelevant. And I'm not advocating resting on the past, but again, context. Why people say we dominated Leicester, we played good in the first 20, then we just set back. I think the second, I think that's a bit harsh. I think the first half was, I'd say we were the stronger team. I think we withstood pressure from Leicester, but I think Leicester tried to throw the kitchen sink. In terms of how we managed the game against Leicester, second half against Leicester, Spurs and Villa, probably our best one, in my opinion. Not so much the fact that we kept a clean sheet. But we have to expect that. It's what we need to do as a team is be able to manage them sort of things better. But we have to expect that everybody is disappointed to not beat Arsenal. So if you're sitting there 2-0 down against this Arsenal team with question marks still over the gaffer, the young naive squad, you're going to throw the kitchen sink. You're going to have more of a goal. That's how the Premier League is. So the manner in which we're seeing out the games need to improve, but I think we can praise us a tiny bit for it. Keep the opinions coming. Hit the like button. Not even technical difficulties can stop the guy. Big up yourself, DG. Appreciate you, Jason. Appreciate everybody that's locked in. As usual, good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good night to everybody that's locked in and whatnot, people. Again, we're at 80 likes. Can we get better? What I liked about the Leicester performance was that when they were getting chances, most was at angles. I think only one from open play, which was through the middle. I'm not too sure of that, Khalid. I can't verify where you've got that. But again, I watched the game again. You know, Vardy had a chance he could have done better. Madison had a couple. Barnes had a couple. Luke Thomas had a couple. So I'm not too sure and only one from open play. Midfield is still weak when Partey doesn't play. Facts, and I've got some opinions to. Well, I ain't got no opinions if I don't open up the right thing, do I? People, again, switching laptops is a killer, and it's jarring because I'll do a separate video on it. I can't do it now, but I had all my tactical tabs open. What I'm gonna talk about, the goal, the this, the that. But in life, curveballs are thrown up, man. So it's just down to me to react. But what I do need is to have everything else. I was gonna, yes. My other talk, I got some talking points, people, but they're not really talking points. They're just thoughts I have in relation to the game, if I'm honest with you. And I'll get over them in a minute. But I'm just enjoying you lot, really and truly. I don't really care about what I have to say. The beauty of this DG Nation thing is that every day I come here, I'm blessed with a diverse amount of opinions, and you lot, you know, reflect the diversity. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are in different nations and countries and all these things, and you make it for what it's worth. Man said DG bounced. Stan Kroenke trying to take down your stream just then. Bro, boy, he needs to be focusing on that case. But Palace beat City. We drew with them. You complain this is a young team and we have players who are playing league first season. I mean, that's the beauty of football, really and truly, you know. I mean, it's not as I hear you. They beat, you know, Palace beat them, fair play, and City are going to up their game for us. And Palace have shown Arsenal one thing that I don't like is that, yeah, teams can be better than you. Even Brighton drawing at Anfield, the place we've got to go. When you apply yourself, when you work hard, when you focus what you're good at and double down on them things there, you can get results. So you should never just write off games. But how many times are Palace going to beat them? Really and truly. I mean, Musa, we do have a young team. I never complained. It's not even me complaining. We do have a young team. The average age is 23, you know. So I'm not too sure of the correlated point and the sentence structure, but I hear that, man. If he doesn't achieve anything or get top 6, I'm Arteta. Broski, I'm not Arteta in a row. I'm Arsenal in, and I don't think right now, I don't think Arteta deserves pitchforks. But as I keep saying, I haven't seen enough to defend you blindlessly. I haven't seen enough to attack you blindlessly. It's one where if significant progress isn't made, I don't want to hear any excuses. Someone needs to wield the axe and bring someone in who's going to provide more solutions. One thing I really liked about Arteta when he first walked in the door, and those of you that have been rocking with me since he's come, I used to always say one thing I like about Arteta is he's giving me answers, no questions. And then it started to change to that he's throwing up more questions than answers. Right now, I'm seeing answers, you know. You buy time. Arteta, you weathered the storm. Whether you probably should this time through what you did this time a year ago, you probably should have been sacked. But he's weathered the storm. We're seeing building blocks. We're doing all right to the point where I think there's a bit of complacency where the fans are concerned. But I agree with you. If he doesn't upgrade on 8th, I do think top 6 is attainable. Personally, I do at least a fight for it, a real fight for me. Obviously, I'd like to be in the top 4. We can't do that. In an ideal world, I would like a proper fight for the top 4. If you lose it, you lose it. But I just want to know you're the best of a chasing pack if you can't get there. Of course, I wouldn't say it's an achievement, but you need to finish 5th or 6th. Are we the 5th best team? I don't know. You probably expect United to maybe drop out of that position if they're not going to stay 4th. They probably end up 5th if there's a turnaround or a new managerial bounce. So 6th is the minimum, really. You know, if the only thing that I would say would save him if he finishes below any of that is if you see the kind of the things we're seeing now, if it improves, you can sit there and say, all right, cool. You know, we see a DNA, you bring in 1-2 star players or better players or people that are ready for this thing. It is what it is. Can we talk about how on 6 different occasions this season, the final ball is letting down the attack and Arteta can't be blamed for their dead passes? Arteta can't be blamed for their passes, but he can be blamed for what we're seeing in relation to the final third. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'll do the tactical review on it, but I actually was impressed with how we played in the final third against Leicester because it felt like there was a plan, there was intention, there was invention sort of thing. Stuff I don't always see, you know. And I have to say it has to be the players are poor in front of the final third, and players need to fix up because no one's really got good goals to assist and things like that. Smith Rowe's got 2 goals back to back now, so he's on the right track, but everything you see is a byproduct of the manager. I can't praise you for praising us for looking a bit solid defensively and not say the attack. You know, again, whether it's they're having too much instruction, whether there's not enough instruction, whether they're good enough, I don't know. But you said about 6 occasions that can't just be on the players. The players have to take responsibility. Just like if it was 6 games and they were doing it, we'd sit here and praise the players, Osama. But at the same time, you've got to put that to the manager as well. Everything is a byproduct on what he's doing. And for me, the whole point of playing out from the back is to Ramsdale is our first attacker and he relishes it with his ball playing. Aubameyang's our first defender. So when I don't really see we're playing out from the back well, but if I scrutinize it now, I can't see the purpose yet. So that's probably a byproduct as to why we're touching the final third and it's sideways. No one really knows what to do consistently. There has been occasions. Villa, they look like they was intent. Spurs, they look like there was intent. Leicester, there's been intent. I actually feel against Burnley, we progressed moves quite good as well away from home. So yeah, man. We need to master our pressing. Don't let teams breathe. I'd say that. I'd say that, but at the same time, we need to know if we're trying to press and we're getting tired, sit back. DG, when do you think we'll be able to see a sustainable press? Because we can't just be relying on blitzing teams in the first 30. I can't answer it for you, my guy. I really can't. I can't give you an answer because I don't really know. I'd say, like I said, if we scrutinize it, the emphasis, maybe not so much emphasis, that might not be the right word, but the introduction of proper pressing under Arteta has been there since he first walked in. I know I look at the Chelsea and Chelsea and United games. First half, madness. Second half, we looked a bit tired, and that's why we threw it away against Spurs. On another day, United might score. So it's been there. But this is where I think we need our players to be a bit street smart. And you can see it. Players are getting tired and they're still trying to do the same thing. And even yesterday, when Leicester was all on top of us, Saka looked undoubtedly tired. And Arteta takes a bit long to react. Smash the like button, people. People moving crazy on Sunday, disliking videos. Listen, anyone disliking, suck your mother and she can suck her mother. On that, let's keep moving, man. They can't stop the DG hype train. They cannot stop the DG nation. It is what it is. So we wasn't performing and it was the players' fault, but we start winning and it's all down to our pathetic fan base. It really is deluded. Aaron, I don't know what brownie points are trying to prove here. I don't know who has said anything. And I think this is the wrong channel for you because you're lacking in extreme intelligence and extreme balance and balance, really and truly, So I think you can call all of us deluded. You take the biscuit for being stupid. We just said you win, lose, and draw together. You praise the players when they do well. You praise them when they're doing bad. You do that well. You praise and critique fairly. You can't just say it's all the players. You can't just when things are going bad, and you can't just say it's all the manager when things are going well. Now we know in football, such is life. It's always the manager's faults when it's going wrong. But I don't know where you got that. That's a classic case of getting 2 and 2 and getting 100. Aaron, it's Sunday though, man. Please, I beg you. Go and enjoy. I know it's raining over in the UK, but just apply some common sense, man. Question, DG, what would it take for you to be convinced by the process? Well, I can see it. So I wouldn't say I'm not convinced by it, but longevity. Show me this throughout the whole of the season. Like I said, there's going to be ups and downs and bumps and bruises. But if you can show me a sort of consistency and a duration in that consistency, then I'll believe it. I've seen us do this purple patch thing. I've seen us go on unbeaten runs. I've seen us on occasion play perfect games. But within the 38 game dynamic, I haven't seen enough, if I'm completely honest. And when you look at it, there's a lot of football to be played. And we don't have twats in defense. DG, do you think that's down to personnel? I'm not sure what we was talking about at that particular stage, man. Arteta loses, you complain. He wins, you still complain. What do you want? What I would want is for you to listen, because I haven't complained at all. But clearly that's too much, man. That's all I want. In fact, that's all I want for Christmas, man. I never stopped trusting Arteta more with the board fully backing him. I mean, I had question marks over Arteta's ability and question marks over, in the same way, if a player messes up on the field, I'd like Arteta to pull them aside. I didn't know what's going to happen with Arteta. It felt like he's being left to his own devices, and the board are still doing a mazza. Now, I know the sentiment has changed because we're winning, but I still believe a lot of that. Might have to look into getting a PC soon. I can't lie. You buying that? DG Nation, our brand ain't that strong. Bro, Spurs, come on, man. I can't lie, the background fits the stream. Maybe everything happens for a reason, man. Run up the likes if you haven't. I have reasons to be optimistic now, but that's about it. And that's it, man. That's it. That's all I'm with it on it, man. I've got reasons to be optimistic because I'm just not fundamentally, yeah. We're not sitting here and we're saying, oh, what's going on? How many times have we had a game like that? And we're like, oh, what's going on with the players? You know, nobody was at it. There's only one person was at it, you know, and we've all seen the calamitous goals we conceded. And there's going to be a couple of bumps and bruises along the way, but there's reasons to just have some belief in the team that hasn't always been there under Arteta or at Arsenal as well for many years. Whether it's been Wenger, sadly, Emre, Arteta, you know, whatever. Exclude Lombard because he weren't here long enough, but we just keep going. And for me, it's the togetherness, man. Like I'm seeing more camaraderie. I never thought this squad didn't like each other, but I'm seeing more camaraderie. Like I'm seeing, you know, the squad players feeling in, you know, the bench players feeling involved. The substitutes they're involved. You know, everybody just seems like there's a bit more of a grit. It's still not enough for me to go OTT, but there's a bit more pride in performances. There's a bit more we want to win. I see people want to claim their destiny. I'm seeing what it means to people. And for me as well, a big part of what I've liked with Arteta, he's found better partnerships. Like there's a bit more stability. I know at the start of the season, the man's hand was kind of tied. There wasn't much he could do. But is it any coincidence, you know? You finally decided Gabriel and Ben White are the guys. There's no messing about in defense like that. Tomiyasu, on another day, I think a lot of what he does is mediocre, but he's locked it down. Ramsdale, we got like a captain in goal, like a typical captain, what we need in England, really. Someone that makes bare noise, makes bare noise and all of them things there. He's coming into his own. And obviously, a lot of people had things to say about the transfers. I don't think, at least where Arsenal fans are concerned, I don't think nobody didn't rate Tomiyasu. You know, if you didn't know about him, you can't rate someone you don't know. But to a lot of people, they were saying, yo, Bologna, he's decent, he's this and that. But if we look at the footballing universe, they tried to kill a man. Is he a centre-back? Is he a right-back? Sky Sports, no one wanted him, you see. Maybe some of our fans might have even believed that. Hit the like button as well. If you haven't hit the like button, unexpected high bills. But he's come in. And like I said, a lot of what he's brilliant. I think a lot of what he does is median. I think and a lot of people go OTT because we've been, you know, traumatized with just shit right backs. We've got a right back who can just do his job. He's winning headers. He's trying to go forward. He defends, all of these things. But we're seeing, you know, suddenly all that BS about is he a right back or he's not a right back. He's not a centre back. It's now, yeah, he's got the adaptability to play there. We all know what was said about Ramsdale. 30 million, 24 plus an extra 6 million looks a bit cheap. We're looking like, oh, maybe Sheffield United needed a bit more, really and truly. It's to the point where people that I speak to that are Sheffield United content creators, they're saying, boy, we never even saw that stage of Ramsdale consistently. So maybe we've even stole Ramsdale at the right time when he's starting to come into a purple patch. And even Ramsdale's going to make mistakes. There's going to be issues. You know, it's not trajectory. A football career is never like that. It wasn't like that for Saka. When I was telling you, look, there's going to be bumps and bruises along that man's way. Martinelli the same, Smith Rowe the same. You got to think about your own lives. Since you lot jumped in the working world or just became adults, has it ever been like that? Or have you had knocks and bumps and bruises? Football is no different, you know. Ben White, the jury is still out, but every game he plays well, he's proving people wrong. For me, he's probably the one out of the summer signings. It's not that he hasn't proved nothing to me or shown me nothing, but I'm like, all right. I'm seeing Lokonga looks like a 17 million pound player. Like for me, I think I'll speak about it a bit more in because I want to speak about. I think Lokonga needs a bit more time. I don't think Lokonga's ready for consistent football within our first team, but we ain't got a choice, so he's gonna have to get with it. Tomiyasu proving his worth. Ramsdale proving his worth. Even Lokonga, but I'm just saying. I won't say Ben White's proven his worth. I wouldn't say he hasn't. I just think I'm just still watching that one because you look like a decent defender, but I want to be praising you to the way I praise Gabriel, and you was good yesterday. You know, I actually feel again tactical review. Wait till it comes out. I was gonna do it live with you lot. I feel the set piece manager set piece coach needs a raise because we've been here for a while. We got set piece coach. There must be a next set piece coach here because I'm actually seeing us look dangerous. And I think if you go and look at this, was it the first goal Gabriel scored? Gabriel put the first one in. Go and look at the goal again. Don't watch Saka crossing it. Just go and watch Gabriel and Ben White. If you see Ben White, I'm sure it's Samore and Telemans. They're marking them two. If you look at it, Ben White's blocked off one of the runs. Like Ben White's run's been used as a decoy to sort of thing, and he's blocked off both men sort of thing. So that's allowed Gabriel to just get his elevation. No one's checking his run, and obviously you saw him storm towards the front post and beat Jamie Vardy to that header. So I'm seeing a lot. So I still like Ben White. I mean, I won't say all the signings have justified themselves because there's many bumps and bruises and all of these things, and there's 20 odd games, but you're seeing why we spent this piece. I still think we missed a trick getting a midfielder in, but you're seeing why we spent this piece. Even Tavares, all right, we can't judge a man on 2 games he's played in the Prem, but he's come out. For me, Leicester was the first real big test for you defensively. That because Villa, there's the same logic, but the Villa one, I was like, all right, cool. You know what? They didn't turn up. Leicester away from home, them and there, it's mad, innit? We all know that. Tavares came through it. Yeah, there was a couple of occasions from Tavares. He looked a bit nervous. He did a couple questionable things. Like, actually, in the build-up to the second goal with Smith Rowe, Tavares has lost the ball. Tavares has lost the ball. And then Partey's done his job. But Tavares has shown, Tini, this could be a fight. Because really, if we're honest with ourselves, and it sounds mad to say, but it probably shows that we can go up several levels. No one's really holding on to a first-team shirt if we're real, Again, even Tomiyasu, if we looked at it a couple of games ago, if there was a next right back of a similar standard, might be able to swap him out. Saka and Smith Rowe in the last couple of games grabbing it, but there's been times this season, even to a degree, still with Saka as great as he is, and he doesn't come out the team for me for its worth. They could come out the team. No one's really grabbing onto a shirt like that. Ramsdale is, I would say. Gabriel is. I would say Saka has one because I don't feel anyone gives us what he gives us on the right historically, but no one's grabbing onto shirts. And that tells you we can probably go up several levels. So it probably is exciting. So we'll have to see, man. Keep the opinions coming, people. Again, these streams are always the best when they go left, to be fair with you. 133 likes, 200 odd people locked in. If you've hit that like button, God bless you. If you haven't, God bless you same way, but unexpected high bills are due. Not yet, DG, but he's moving in the right direction. Definitely has the potential to be a great manager. And that's it. Arteta does. But why we need to keep moving like this is because I've said it before and I don't want it to happen. I don't want Arteta to be a good manager anywhere but Arsenal. Like, with respect, we all know he's probably going to go off and do great things and be a great gaffer, but I don't really care if he's a great manager for Spain, a great manager for Everton, goes and replace City. None of that matters to me if he doesn't do fuck all at this club. And I did feel we was getting to a territory where, it just feels like he's just being given a platform to learn and make mistakes, which he should, but it's like, you're learning without anything, without any sort of end goal sort of thing. So when I'm seeing things like this, I'm seeing stuff, but the jury's still out. I think the only thing that's changed is the sentiment. The jury's still out. We're still in the same territory. There's progress, Rome isn't built in a day, as we famously hear. And as I always say, I need to see some scaffolding. I'm seeing scaffolding being put up now. I'm seeing, materials being delivered. I'm seeing site managers. You get it? I'm seeing the process of this new block of flats going up now. I'm seeing little things, whether it's going to be delivered on time, whether, the plumbers and tradesmen that are getting involved are able, whether the site manager is good enough and the project manager is good enough and the company that's been employed to put up this thing, which would probably be, if you don't have common sense, is another thing. But we'll have to see. Really and truly. Still don't think we create chances. We don't, man. We don't create enough chances, really. We've been clinical. Maybe potentially a lot of what we're doing is not sustainable, some might say. Ramsdale's contribution so far has won me over. I feel more comfortable seeing Ramsdale, Gabriel, Benny Blanco, TT, and Partey in the starting lineup. Trust me, we're getting to that stage now where we need to improve the depth now. Because I still think, when Brighton get injuries or they've missed out on Basuma and Webster, you haven't seen a drop-off. Crystal Palace never had Zaha batted it up against City, but he wasn't missing. He was missing against us. You never saw it. So we need to get to a stage potentially, and it's probably a couple years in front. Partey not playing, we're able to lock it down. Ben White or Gabriel not playing, you're able to lock it down. God forbid a mad thing happens to Ramsdale, we're able to step up. Because now we're still in that territory where, we won and it's not relevant. But had we have lost to Leicester, it's always the men that are not involved that are spoken about. Could we have started Pepe? Saliba this, certain fans would be throwing that in, Leno that, Martinez this. It's always the Xhaka. It's always the ones that are not involved. When we win, you can't say much. And just like the Leicester game, I think going into Watford, for what it's worth, I don't think a single player can be dropped. I do think he's going to. I think he's going. I think you will see Lacazette back on the bench for Watford. And again, I'm calling this a week before, so I don't know this. I just have a hunch that Lacazette will drop out against Watford, and you'll see Odegaard, Smith Rowe shift back over to the left, go with one up front in Aubameyang, and Odegaard will come back into the team. That's what I think we're going to see. But I don't think a damn thing should change in the Leicester game. I think everyone earned their place against Villa. Everyone earned their place following the Leicester game for the Watford one. And the Watford one, we need to get 3 points. We need that insurance going into the Liverpool one. Such as football, we could lose to Watford and go out and there and beat Liverpool. I'm getting gassed. I'm getting excited. I'm trying to talk things into existence, people. But you get the point, man. So we'll have to see. Keep the opinions coming. But you're right, man. Every one of us knew before Arteta came in, a quick fix wasn't going to happen. Are you sure? Because many fans were convinced it was. If we rate the transfer business, we had William, which is bad. The rest was positive. You would say Cedric was positive? There's a couple. I mean, in this season, whether these are Arteta's actual players or we said, you know what, maybe getting into bed with agents isn't the right thing. We're seeing a lot. But I don't know about any of that, man. You have to take what we shouldn't do is revise history, man. But you are right. One thing we can all agree on is the spuds. Have you seen how salty some of the spuds are? They've resorted to saying, why is Ramsdale getting praised for making saves, but Loris don't? Fair enough. Someone give him a trophy. Earl. There's a Carl in the comments. Earl, it's a game-by-game basis for me. Like, it's a game-by-game basis because, again, this same Arsenal, we've seen us do some nonsense. We're doing all right. For me, there's a bit more hunger and desire, man. As you say, Rome wasn't built in a day, but we are seeing the scaffolding now. Exactly that, man. Teams like Leicester and West Ham are the benchmark for our season, in my opinion. If we can outperform them this season, that's progress. I hear you. And I would also say we shouldn't even be looking at no one, because we just need to stop fucking it up against smaller teams with respect. I'm not saying we go to all these bigger teams and bad them up, but our problem was kind of with respectfully, West Ham, I don't even remember the home game, but away from home, that mad draw, which again, it looks fantastic, shouldn't have happened. Leicester at home was appalling because I actually feel we had them in the first half. Really, second away game, sorry, we did them, man. I'm not getting gassed by a few good performances for 30 minutes. That's a bit harsh, but I hear you. It seems like in our games, there's a real 30-minute period at the start based on the last two where we're on a different gear. Like, that's one thing I've liked about Arsenal is that regardless of us needing, all the things we've said, we still need to improve and we're not all the way there yet. At least we've seen us play to that level because sometimes there's been times we've played not so much to this level, but played in a similar fashion. It's 0-0. The other team goes and scores. We start waffling and saying ifs and buts. So I like how we've at least been able to exploit teams. And even if we do these things where, it happened less so much against Leicester, but against Villa and Spurs, second half, we're prone to start getting into old habits. At least we give ourselves some sort of cushion. And for me, what I like is that we're able to exploit teams. If Spurs were on a losing run, they couldn't use our game to springboard anything. The same goes for Leicester, Villa, they had 2 losses on the spin. Leicester haven't bought a clean sheet all season where they least concern. I'm happy they didn't get one against us. I'm happy we kept a clean sheet as well, man. Arteta deserves some credit for what he did so far, but the season ain't over after 10 games. And that's it. You can't revise history. I know certain fans, Spurs fans are out there winning the league in August. Arsenal fans who want to keep waffling about us being the best team of 2021 while we're in 8th. There's issues. If we don't challenge for top 4 and miles off, he should be sacked, in my opinion. I hear you and I agree with you, but at the same time, I would say no, because realistically, we are miles off the top 4. Saying that, again, I hear you. Look, I think we are and we're not, because for the last couple of years, it comes down to your own team. You lot have anyone that hasn't got Europe hasn't been because other teams are clear of them. It's because you've been shanking it yourself, excluding the obvious ones in the cities and Liverpools and all of these things. Even last year, Liverpool were dealt with a shitload of injuries. So on one hand, I do think there is that we should at least run it all the way sort of thing, overperform and all these things. I don't think we can do it, but I think that should be the case. But on the other hand, we've got a young, very naive team. Some of them, it's not necessarily been around the block in terms of challenging for top 4. Some of them, I think Ramsdale excels a lot because he's But it's not that these guys don't know football for real life, but he knows football for real life. He's been in a relegation change room. He knows what 3 points means. He understands. Man need to get away with these 3 points. We're fighting for stuff. He's been on the loans at Wimbledon and all of these sort of things. We probably need a couple more like that. Tierney, I get that logic the same. I don't get it with other people. To be fair, I see it with Odegaard. I've actually seen Gabriel be a bit more vocal. Ben White started opening his mouth again, but again, it's for me the only thing that the one thing I want to see is that when I look at Arteta's Arsenal, like what we've been seeing in the last couple of games, I see what it's about. We don't have to find mad articles and, Tomiyasu spent 20 minutes inverted and this guy's over there. Bro, an idiot should be able to see it. A little kid should be able to see Arsenal one year and the next year and see some sort of improvement. They might not be able to articulate it, but if you have to complicate it and show bare diagrams and all these things, the system's not there. Question: If we step back away from what's on the pitch, do you think the club's organization as a whole has taken any steps forward in the Arteta Edu period? Well, we've brought in a lot of people individually and whatnot, and we can't sit here and blame Arteta and the people, the subsequent people above him when things are going well and not give them credit. Edu, if these signings were to go wrong, it's a bit deep, and I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I probably would have sat here and said, well, why did you being technical director, why did you sanction these signings with Arteta? But on the other hand, cool, Arteta asked for Ramsdale, you went and grabbed him. He wanted this guy, that guy in the third, you went and grabbed him. He didn't ask for Tavares, but you was able to find him a quote-unquote a left back that has potential to tie into what we're trying to do as a club with the age, and obviously can step up and stand up to be counted in. Hopefully, ultimately challenge Kieran Tierney, because again, I don't want Tierney to. For me, Tierney starts against Watford. Tierney's the left back at this club. There's a gulf between them, but Tierney, they weren't doing the business. So I'd understand, and I'd almost want him to. Bro, Tierney, fitness or not, you're on the bench. You got to wait a bit. Now, I think Tavares has played his way against Watford. I don't know if he'll play against Liverpool away from home. Our starting 11 is good enough for Europe, but an injury to important players in our squad looks dead. Europa League cannot be a target, that has to be a given. Interesting. Saying more or less, I guess that's what I was saying. Every fan and his dog can see that Saka needs to be subbed after 70 minutes. Don't know why Arteta can't see that. Give Martinelli some minutes. To be fair with you, I hear you, Martinelli should have probably come off the bench and done more, but he didn't really pull up any trees in the start. And the way we're playing, I can't sit here and say, Fromar, if we're winning, it's what can you say? If you're getting results, you can't sit here and say this man needs to get in, that man needs to get in, this guy and that guy and all these things. It don't make no sense, really and truly. And really, is Martinelli, I believe in the man's ability. He has the potential to be a figurehead for this club. For me, he's one of the best players at this team and can show it like he did, because he was doing the Smith Rowe and Saka thing to a lesser degree. But at the same time, has he shown enough to get in instead of a Lacazette and play with Aubameyang, or instead of Aubameyang? Has he shown, and I know it's difficult, he hasn't been able to do it and be given the platform, but has he shown that he's going to offer more off that left than Smith Rowe? If you pull Aubameyang over there, he's going to offer more than that. Realistically, has he shown he's potentially going to even offer more than Pepe at this moment in time? And I think us fans, we need to realize you can't have everything. You can't have results. This guy playing all the time, that guy playing all the time, a million young players. We want all young players when we want all world-class players. We want a challenge for the league, but we also want young players getting opportunity. You can't have it all. Man need to get 3 points. If man are getting 3 points, as much as I agree with you, bro, man need to get 3 points, bro. It's not, feelings are not here. There's going to be time for everyone to get their opportunity. Stay patient and it will happen. With the Brighton and Palace results, along with their form this season, in hindsight, does our draw against both look better now? Richard, on one hand, yeah, of course, because we didn't lose. And, in the last 2 games that has been played this week, when you see the champions, or, the 2 recent champions struggling against these 2 sides, and like Liverpool, we drew, we kept a clean sheet. Unfortunately, Brighton found their shooting boots, and the Palace won. So I'd agree with you, but same way, I think it's a cop-out, because I think with those games, yeah, listen, listen, when you can't win, don't lose. Sequence, Brighton, Potter's a good manager. A point isn't the be-all and end-all. And I'd also say on that, Arsenal fans need to remember, but we're not that team, not to find any excuses, but we're not that team that's going to go out there and say we're going to win, we can win every game. And or not to find excuses, but you lot know the Premier League, unless you're City, Liverpool, probably Chelsea now, the golf, like, it's all a catch-up thing. Like, United could beat Spurs this week. I don't know who they have next week. They might get patterned. Do you get it? But at the same time, for me, I would say no, because I feel them games there, we was reactive. You know, we got very complacent after going a goal in front against Palace, and cheap mistakes made sure we wasn't there. Brighton, I don't think we was ever in it. So when you never turn up and you're never in it, I think a bit of it was tactically. You know, again, we got swarmed in midfield and stuff like that. When you're never in it, then bro, there's it's frustration. But yeah, if you look at it on that hand, of course. But for me, not really, because I feel we could have got something out of the game, provided we just definitely the Brighton game, just turn up. Actually, just turn up. I don't think we turn up. I really don't. I wouldn't say it's one of our poorest performances of the season, because you've seen what we've had at the start, but very slyly it was, man. Top four is doable. I hope you're right. Why are there so many fans who want to find negatives on the win? Let's just enjoy it. Because many fans don't lack balance. You know, they can't talk about, yo, okay, mate, we can improve at this, that, and the other. Maybe this could have happened, but generally I'm cool. You're either happy or sad. Certain people are loyal to their agendas. You know, that's why when things were going bad and it looked like Arteta needs to move on, man are capping. When things are going right and it looks like he's the guy, guys are capping. People are not loyal to Arsenal Football Club. They're loyal to their own agendas and ideologies, man. And you've seen a couple of them rear their heads. I still have the view that Arteta cannot take the club to full finish, but if he does, he would have proved me wrong. That's all man want in football. Finish man wrong. I accept Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea finishing in front of us this season, but nobody else. Ooh. I hear you, you know. I mean, asterisks on United, they get a proper manager, then peak, innit? But, ooh. Because what we're fighting Brendan Rodgers. Do you know what? Leicester, West Ham, they're looking good, but this is where we should be amongst them, man, there now. So, yeah, I hear you, you know. Why are we talking about the players have done well and we're outside the top four? I think that's a bit harsh, man. They're being harsh, man. Is the League Cup in our sights, DG? Bro, as long as you're in a cup, you have to try win it, man. Simple as that. People are acting like City didn't have a red card. Don't ignore context. Bro, to be fair, hear that. With Partey and El Nene leaving for AFCON for a month and Xhaka possibly not being back, ideally does giving Patino game time soon rather than later make sense. When the guy's ready, I don't think he's healthy. I think his time will come, but you know, you're asking him to provide cover. How many games is that for someone that ain't kicked a ball professionally? It's not really fair to him. So I would like him to get opportunities, but bring in somebody more experienced. There's a lot he needs to learn. And I think, you know, a lot of these players, I mean, if you watch the last couple of games, you lot wouldn't like, bro, you know, you look at Marcelo Flores and Patino, I love them both. But in two of their last recent league games, they've lost the ball in midfield where you can't lose it. You know, Patino's lost it as the last man against Liverpool, if I remember correctly. You know, Flores has lost it on the edge of his area. I'm not criticizing them because these are things that you need to improve and do as a young player. But fans that waffle about playing these young men, Miguel Aziz has done bullshit like that a lot of the time. And I think he's probably worse defensively than both of them. Hopefully being in League One for a couple of months, whether you play or not, improves you. Fans are not going to be there for it. And I do think it's because fans genuinely are not watching these things, man. Anyone saying less than top four is unacceptable needs to rein themselves in. Great away performance. Young team will be inconsistent. The trick is to minimize that inconsistency. Great chance of top six, says Chris. And again, it's up to them if they want it, you know. But I would say sentiments change a lot in football. Look at the league table. A lot of sentiment is changed, you know, prior to probably changed with Spurs winning. But Spurs came in. United were talking about winning league titles. Spurs came into that game ahead of them. What does that say? Arsenal were getting relegated. We were fifth for a point. My point being, you can't really force narratives. Sentiment and narratives are going to change a lot, man. After 10 games played, positions in the league change quickly. After 25 games played in the league will give us more of an idea of what we can achieve. I hope the one game a week will be positive. I hope so. At the start of the season, it was irrelevant, really. We're seeing a bit of a shape, man. Hello, DG. There's nothing to trust about this process. In spite of that convincing victory, Mikel Arteta showed his tactical flaws, with that toxic substitution of Odegaard for Laka. I mean, that's some bullshit, really and truly, really, because you could see Laka look knackered. Odegaard was going to come on for the press, and I hear you if you probably wanted Pepe or Martinelli or historically Balogun to get opportunities, but come on now. All the nation need to hit the like button. Bro, Aaron just had to get blocked, man. He's, common sense ain't that common, and I ain't really got time for BS on this fine Sunday when Arsenal have won a bloody game, people. Blood, are you mad? A good game as well. Guy, mad. Used to be Arteta out, but he's taking the right decisions at the moment. Looks like he's improving fast as well. Still out because I can't forget Villarreal, but he has more credit. Fact, you know what? Fair play. That's all we can do. What I don't believe in is being, vocal in condemning somebody in life and then silent in praise. Arteta at times at Arsenal, not even just this period. There's been times he's got praise here. He's deserved the praise and he's deserved the criticisms. Really, it's just the building blocks. Can you use this as a platform now? This is your squad now, and maybe that's a consequence of it, him being his squad. You're seeing a bit more fight and all these sort of things. Pardon me. Do you think that to sustain this consistency, we need 2 or 3 more signings around the age of 28? We do need more experienced players, but experience doesn't always tend to age. Look at Ramsdale. Would you know that man's 23? Seriously, and there'll be times he'll obviously show an experience, but would you know he's 23? He could go and play for it. But listen, I know we're better than Sheffield United, but just look at the age. I'm sure Sheffield United must have had a dramatically older squad than us. McGoldrick, all them sort of man there, Billy Sharp, all these guys. And anyone that was watching Sheffield United, he had character. He's shown it. So it tears itself in different ways. Tierney, bro, Mr. Celtic. How old is Tierney? I swear my man just turned 25, 26. So it's all in different ways. Gabriel is even a baby, really. Gabriel Tierney's 25 next year. Gabriel's a baby in footballing terms. And even the baby, when you look at the fact of when he was 20 and Ben White was 20, they weren't playing to where Saliba is right now. Another one that's still a baby. But I'm looking at him to be one of the more senior partners. So I would say it's the right experience because with respect, and I know these lot are not first teamers, but we've got Cedric in this team, Marie in this team, Leno in this team. But bear these, man, respectfully, these are not my leaders. And these are the guys that make the mistakes more time. And it's not just them. There's bare man that make mistakes. But you get the point, man. You lot are on fire, people. I want to praise you lot because, again, all week, you lot have been coming heavy with your opinions and whatnot. We had some technical difficulties at the start of the stream, and it's almost like none of that happened, people. And I'd like to extend my appreciation. So refreshing to see someone fight for the badge like Ramsdale, someone we have genuinely missed, and a quality keeper proving the doubters wrong. Trust me, hey Southgate. Listen, I'm not saying it's just a Ramsdale thing because I think there's a couple of keepers better than Pickford, but you can't deny my man. You talk about ball playing and wanting to be a big progressive national side. Look at what Ramsdale's doing. Look at the saves. Look at the character. He can do the shouting thing that Pickford does. And the thing with Pickford, that's Pickford's pony trick. That's not Ramsdale's. If Pickford weren't left-footed, man's playing non-league football, but he ain't playing for the #United and that. Fraudy. Bro, 24. Yeah, 25 next thingy. Kieran Tierney's 24. So again, exactly, these men are they're really babies. Well, I say babies, they're not. Yeah, look. Ramsdale 23. Tierney 24. Thoughts on Zachariah from Gladbach Rumors. Big up DG, love the channel. I've actually spoken on him, so if you want my extended reports, just type my name in next to him. I've gone off the hype train. Used to be a big fan. I think he's improved his passing, but I'm not really on it. But for free, I will take it. If we do sign him, I don't really understand it. It's not that I don't understand it, but it's like you've got 3 similar midfielders, in obviously the young man Lokonga and Partey. They play different football, and I don't think Partey is getting enough praise for what it's worth for his game yesterday. So I'll take it for the squad. Obviously, if Partey goes to AFCON, you need it, but where's the sort of other guys, Where's the other ones? If Partey gets injured, Lokonga will play with Xhaka or whoever if Xhaka's fit. If Xhaka gets injured, where's the more direct replacement for him whose strengths are a bit more going forward than that? Because I was refreshed with Partey because that was one of the first games, not one of the first, but was a game where I feel Partey was doing what fans could see. That's what he's there to do. Win the ball back. No one's giving him the praise for winning the ball back for Smith Rose. Respect to Ramsdale for that worldy save for the free kick, but no one's giving Partey his flowers for just mopping up. The save's irrelevant if somebody taps it in. Partey says no, really and truly. Partey had a really effective game yesterday, and I'm not saying Ramsdale shouldn't have been man of the match because for me, I think Gabriel, Partey, Ramsdale, them 3 in particular, deserve it the most on top of an all-round good team performance. But yeah, And to be fair, it is nice to complain, who wins man of the match, this guy, that guy, I love it. DG, if you had the choice of Saint Maximin, Neto, or Rafinha on the right hand side, who would be your guy? Rafinha first, Neto second. I like Saint Maximin, but fam. Hit the like button close to 200. Odegaard was absolutely the right decision. The pressing thing was calm, man. For me, the players are starting to adopt and grow into Arteta's philosophy. He's not a bad manager. He needs some respect. We have been patient, and maybe, just maybe, we are getting somewhere. Hopefully, my guy. Good opinion. If we can keep up this form, we have a big chance of finishing on the top four. Your thoughts, DG? Bro, I hear you, but what have you said there? You said if, bare ifs and buts. No disrespect, but if anything can happen, I don't really can't do the if thing on the 31st of October, my bro, because there's bare games to play. Sadly, there's gonna be loss of form, there's gonna be injuries, there's gonna be just sometimes it's just not your day. You just weren't at the office, sort of thing. These sort of things happen, really. So it'll be interesting. People, please make sure you're subscribed to me on Twitch, because I'll be doing West Ham versus Aston Villa live from 4 p.m. Obviously I love the YouTube gang, but you have to mix it up sometimes and them things. So yeah, I'm trying to actually find our fixtures, bro, because there's 20 odd games left, Again, my maths is poor, but I'm sure there's enough games, bro. We played 10 games. I hear you. But you see how the sentiment is changing, bro. Like, this is the thing. We need to keep a clear head, because the start of the season in August, no one is saying that. No one is entertaining Arsenal getting in Europe. We've come a long way. I wish that Villa fan Carl was here. Big up Carl, my guy, because he used to always say, I can't see Arsenal in the table unless I accept cookies on the Premier League website. So again, sentiment is changed, man. Can Arsenal get top four? For me, I just think at best we can run it all the way. I think we'll fall short, because I think yesterday was a positive, because we took advantage of other teams messing about and set the tone. But there's been many times when we haven't, and you need to be cerebral every week kind of in that approach. And I know Arsenal can do this in isolation. Can we do this consistently? It's not really the fact that we have got a young squad and I'm saying we can't get Europe, but there's a lack of game management from consistently on times from the manager and from the players. I think that will become unstuck when everybody's fit and our options are available. I know yesterday, there was no Tierney, there technically was no Xhaka. I'm probably missing out on others, but I think we can't really cope with the injury thing. So there's a real drop off in depth. And again, the fact that we've played 10 games, my guy, we've played 10 games. We've played 10 games. There's 28 football matches left in this Premier League season for us. I don't know how many points that is up for grabs, 3 points. And also, one of you that's good at maths, I know one of you can figure that out. But look how much points that is. And it's naive to probably assume we're going to get all of them points. Like, again, I'm not telling you no lies, bro. Like, we just have to look at the facts, We're 10th. We played 10. We're not 10th. We're 6th, sorry, which is good for us. And we've put pressure on United going into. They've got a Man City. They got a Manchester derby. Watford are going to be a tough team, and they lost at the weekend. But we should be taking points there. We need to be taking points there, really and truly. We need to do a job. But it's only been 10 games played. There's hardly anything in this league table. The top three, I'd say they're in their own world. As I keep saying, from 4th to probably about 14th place, there's like 6 points or so. Really, wait, let me check. Yeah, there's like 6 points. That's 2 games, excluding goal difference. And then from 14th to 20th, even Norwich can get out of that. I don't think they will. They've got a relegation battler against Leeds, and I hope Leeds win. I would love Burnley to go down. But my point being, but you can't draw no conclusions, really and truly, Even though I rate Patrick Vieira, he's getting a lot of plaudits, bro. They're not doing much. Brentford were getting a lot of plaudits. They've lost their last 3 games. No one's saying nothing about it. Everton were getting a lot of plaudits. Well, go on. Spurs won the league, been relegated. They started off this game week ahead of Bearman. They've dropped down the table because fortunately Spurs are shit. But you get the point. Arsenal, we were going down. Now look. So there's 28 games, sorry. Whatever narrative these guys won in May, it's down to them to go and do that. And then obviously you flick quickly. Loved it. Love it. Smith Rowe, Saka, my favorite players. Hey, Ramsdale. Sorry, man, you're my favorite. So is Gab. I got too many favorites in this team. I love you all, man. The actual good players. Tierney. I'm never going to forget Tierney. Big up Kieran Tierney. Still the Flying Scotsman. Still a big player. Don't turn your back. But again, as I said, with that on a serious note, 28 games. We need to now, bro. October's gone. Great month. done our thing. 2 games last week. Leeds and Leicester did our job. But now look, you've got to beat Watford. And listen, that's at home. Watford, for me, Ranieri wants to stay in the league. They lost their last game. He's going to be on to them. You see what they did against Everton. They can do a fuckery, pardon my language. Anfield. Now, we need to take a leaf out of Brighton's book and apply ourselves. That's a write-off, really and truly. But if we're serious, we ain't gone to Anfield too many times in the league of recent and done a thing. You know, we ain't done a thing. Mo Salah just gets enough goals. He must have about 25 goals against us. The best game of recent, probably in the cup against them when we beat them in the cup, and probably in terms of a league fixture. I swear there was one game Ainsley Maitland-Niles scored the first goal. I thought, yo, we might be able to do something here. We might be doing a drill, and then it turned into a nightmare. So you've got what? Promoted side. You've got Liverpool. Bro, Newcastle, their backs are against the wall. They're in a relegation race. You have to be careful of these teams. Bread's on the line, and plus they've got new owners. So certain man, forget playing Premier League. You might not play top flight football or the top 2 flights in the Championship if you don't do a thing at Newcastle. So we've got to take points. Arsenal need to be able to be cerebral enough to say, boom, all right, cool. Liverpool will apply ourselves. Whatever happens, happens. But Watford, Newcastle, 6 points minimum, no less than that. Then obviously, bro, again, this is why I said for me it's about January, because now look, you've got Old Trafford away. Forget United's form. It's not going to be adapting. Everton away. Again, that's going to be a difficult game. Rafa Benitez, they're a good side. We messed up at Goodison Park last season and from set pieces. Southampton, they spoil our day on out home and away. What can you do? West Ham, like somebody said, them and Leicester, we beat Leicester. These lot are the ones we're fighting for. When I think, well, Ellen Road's not going to be easy regardless of Leeds' form. You're going to need to put in a show. And we've also got to remember, these games are coming thick and fast. There might be injuries, all of these things. The whole squad's going to be needed, you know. You've got Sunderland in the cup. Again, that's probably subject to change and all these sort of things. Oh, gosh. And I want to beat them because Lee Johnson's been talking a lot of nonsense. Carrow Road, again, relegated teams. On the face of it, bro, you need to be picking up the points against Wolves, Norwich, Watford, etc. But you can't be sitting here in October, technically, and saying we're going to win them games there, you know? Again, so it's just this period. And then, look, as I said, from now till January, all the focus is on whether we win or lose, we're staying among the pack. We're realistically staying among the pack. We have a realistic chance of getting Europe. The table is going to fluctuate. You will turn yourself crazy if you keep watching that, people. And for me, with respect to you lot, there's no point watching it in October saying what we can do this and that. There's many bumps and bruises and tricks and turns. And some of you have been followed subscribers here for years. And I still see you lot do it every year. It's like you lot don't listen. But anyways, you know, you need to take your points because, again, from now, the focus needs to be January the 1st. Another game that probably should be a write-off, but apply yourself, you know. And again, cup competitions and all these sort of things. But then what? The next one in the league, they probably have a new manager by then. Nuno probably won't be there. But you got Spurs, you got Burnley, who they don't like us. So again, we need to remember from August, as I said then, and I'm saying it now in October, from now till January, just make it there. From January until March, end of March, beginning of April, make it there. From April to May, don't ruin your hard work. If you've worked that hard all season, if you've, you know, you've focused on what you need to do better, you've applied yourself, don't ruin it. Just like if I would the same thing with Leicester, that's a lesson from Leicester. They done so much hard work throughout the whole season. Looked like they're getting fourth, ultimately didn't. Now it's still a success. They finished 5th back to back, but you get it. Don't let that happen. And you've got bare difficult games to come. Bare difficult games. Look at that. I want revenge on Brentford. Stamford Bridge, we don't travel well there. What happened at Molineux last year? Liverpool, what typically happens whenever we play Liverpool. So you're going to need to apply yourself, you know, away at Villa Park. What happened there last year? Away at Vicarage Road. That's never easy. You know, at home to Leicester. What happened last year? And then you look at April, Selhurst Park. Boy, it's never easy. Brighton, never easy home or away. St. Mary's, scared. United, boy, it can go either way. London Stadium, what happened last year? And then the final furlong in May. By God's grace, we're in an FA Cup final. Why is that not the last game of the... Surely that's subject to change. FA Cup can't be played and then we play the league again. That can't be right. Assuming we get to the final. God's grace, please, because I want the FA Cup in the Emirates. I want it. I want a day out at Wembley. I want to win. You've got Leeds, you got Newcastle, you got Everton. Bro, again, you can't draw no conclusions yet, man. You can't. So let's just apply what we've been doing, working on it, keep applying ourselves, keep acting like we haven't achieved anything, and we might have a decent season, man. You know, we might be able to do a thing. Maybe. What else are you lot saying? It's not even an entertaining BS thing. I respect everyone's opinion, but like what I don't like is when it's clearly not coming from a place of logic. Like, I don't, if people want to be negative, like, I'm not trying to throw my bro 1-1 into it. I wouldn't say he's being negative, but he's going against the grain. He's not living in la la land and things and whatnot. But the way he's putting it, he's giving man credit where due, and then he's offering his own spin. Certain individuals in this chat, and they're ruining it for you lot, are just moving mad. Oh, man said toxic sub. What would happen if he come on and slapped it top bins? It don't make sense. Do you see us winning the League Cup, DG? I hope so. Listen, how many times have Arsenal won specifically the League Cup to be saying that? But I hope so, broski. I hope so, man. If we apply ourselves, you have half a chance. Hit the like button if you haven't, people. I appreciate the fact that we're at 206. There's 315 in here. Some of you need to hit that like button, folks. If you haven't, unexpected high bills. We smashed Villa. We did Leicester away. We are better than those teams. Smashed Villa, I would think that's a bit harsh. And it's not about being better than these teams. It's about applying yourselves. United have a better squad than most, really. The way they're moving, they're not going to do much. They've got more stars than Chelsea. It's about how you apply yourself consistently. It's like people are not listening to the point. It's not about how good you can be on your day or how good your players are. It's about how good they perform over the 38-game period. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. If you're great in the first 10 and you're shit in the last 10, you're probably not going to finish where you hope to. And that's the beautiful thing about football. A week is a long time. So you can imagine how big 28 games is. This is it for me as well. I want to challenge. I want to be in the conversation. That's what I mean. I might not be articulating it. I want to push it all the way. Like, we're not sitting here like we have done in November and we're saying, yo, all right, we're not in it. Push all the way, man. The players need to believe they do this thing, man. With this squad, I expect at least 5th. I think that's a fair return for this season, considering Leicester and West Ham are in Europe. Who knows if they are or they're about, we might scrape 4th. I mean, like you said, ifs, man. Let's just see what we can do, man. And that's what he should do, bro. I think Arteta tells the guys, let us prove the crowd wrong. Let us shock the fans and social media creators and get 4th. I mean, that's what they should do. If they don't believe they can get 4th or do whatever, they shouldn't be there. As I've always said, they should have a siege mentality. It should be them against the world. One love to the fans and there's togetherness, but fans turn on people quickly. Look at Spurs fans booing Harry Kane. You lot need to believe in yourselves. When you're doing poorly, and Lord knows Arsenal have done poorly a lot of the time, you're not as bad as you might think. When you're winning and doing things what we're doing, there's many things we could improve on. We ain't achieved nothing. It's great. It's wavy. Obviously when it's clearly going to work, playing games, when you're doing things well, it's probably more enjoyable. And when you're doing things well and you're in form, you might score a couple goals you wouldn't score. You might not concede when you're not meant to concede. And I'm not going to lie, we've earned that luck because we've improved defensively. But I genuinely I'm amazed how we didn't concede against Brighton, to a degree against Leicester, because I didn't think we would. But there were, in that second half, if it was a boxing match, there was a time where we'd taking 1-2 punches. Like, I think it was Luke Thomas's effort. I think him and Harvey Barnes have connected and he's banged it. I thought it was going in. You need to also talk about the support Arteta is getting from assistant coaches. You see Steve Round, Nico, and Stan's input all through 90 minutes. Guess they are most influential assistants in recent time. I mean, they've been there. It's funny because people would have sat there and said, what's going on there? What did they give him opinions? But yeah, I mean, what do you expect? You got coaching staff. They should be able to put their shifts in. Would you take back Serge? Would Serge take back us? And this is a fantastic opinion from Matt. And this is why misery loves company. Certain people that have said certain comments that I've made or you or whatever are negative, if we was losing, they would entertain it all. But you said it there. It's not over after 10 games, but so many people spoke like it was after 3. And that's facts. They can't play it. And that's why Liverpool won the league title. Look how Klopp used to play it from the first time he walked in, or even his second year to now. Klopp realized, cool, I'm heavy metal. I do my pressing thing, but it's naive. It can't last in the Prem. We need to manage out games better. And you've seen the whole outlook on Liverpool's how to defend games change a lot. Obviously, it's been boosted with Alisson and Van Dijk. So it's one of them, man. Bro, you know what? Ramsdale's human, bro. If the team mess up, of course he could see better, man. There's been times Leno's played terrific and it's a madness. Nuno's already got a song. Love it. Love it from the fans, man. It must feel different when you're, because you listen, sometimes, but we always forget things, bro. Man's come into a new country, 21, don't know his grasp on the language, not really playing. When you hear the fans chanting your name, that them things there, it gives you a little buzz. I get it in Sunday League. When I hear that DG, I start wanting to act up and do things like this once again, people. You start hearing the buzz. When you start hearing man say shoot and then sing there, like, you're feeling it. You just want to bang it, mate. Hit it. Yeah. Listen to the screams. Yeah. Yeah. Shameless plug. You ain't seen that goal in a minute, man. Yo, DG, do you think that Lacazette will leave either in January or in the summer when his contract's up? Probably, and probably should. Like, for me, if you're not gonna sign a striker that has the strengths Lacazette brings, then I think you need to let him stay. If you're gonna sign a striker that scores more goals than Obama, fair play. But I just think I don't like to cut these luxuries because you should be able to press. Your link-up play should be good if you're bought for 52 mil, and you should, be able to hold it up. But I think it's underrated having that in the squad. I used to use Cavani as an example. Even Cavani yesterday, as much as if I was a United fan, I'm only really trying to see the young G, Sancho, Rashford, Martial, all these guys, but it was a day for Cavani and Ronaldo. Sometimes you're going to need that. Just like there's been times Lacazette can't get near the first team. But as you probably saw in recent weeks, you've needed him in it and he's got the best out of other teammates. This is why I'm very careful on drawing negatives or positives unnecessarily. Everyone's going to get their time. It's 38 games, people. We're going to need different things. Sometimes it's going to even be a Pepe thing. Again, look at the conclusions that were drawn after Aston Villa. Look at the conclusions in the squad that was drawn yesterday after Leicester. Look at the conclusions in the starting lineup that was drawn with the Spurs game. We said Xhaka can't play. We said Pepe has to go. We said Aubameyang needs to go in the team through the middle. Lacazette, Pepe, this, that, and the third. Half of these things didn't happen, and we got the result. So again, we just need to realize it's a squad game. Very few players in that Arsenal team, excluding the back five, would you say, are undisruptables, if that makes sense. Appreciate that, Matt. Mendy was man of the match. Exactly. I do think when Arsenal have them fests, we don't get no praise for that. But other teams do. And I don't think, personally, I think we'll fall short of top four. I don't quite think we have the goals. I don't think we've got the individual brilliance. I'm not going to lie. I don't think we have the quality. I think we have got the quality to run it all the way there, but over the line, experience as well. I don't think so. And you need to know to stop the ruts as well. Like when we go through that inevitable little dip of form, we need to know when to stop it, how to minimize it and things. And I don't know if we know how to do all of them things there. So I think we'll just fall short. But as you lot said, we need to push all the way, man. Like we're breathing down someone's neck. Like if we're fifth all the way and we finish fifth, sixth, and we don't get fourth, but we're pushing all the way, sort of thing. One of them. Shout all the members, moderators, and the rest of it, man. Who do you want to see versus Liverpool, DG, Tierney, or Tavares? Tavares, again, assuming he plays and does well against Watford, it's his spot to lose. But for me, when Tierney's fit, Tierney goes back in. Form or not, and I know it's silly to say, man. Is Arsenal's improved form down to Arteta now having 11 players that understand what he's trying to do tactically? Yeah, and probably the players just fixing the hell up. And maybe Arteta finding clarity. He's clearly changed things. Maybe he's giving less instructions and allowing them to play. Maybe he's giving more instructions. I don't know, but something's working. And I'll give Arteta the credit where due and the players, Like I always say, we praise, critique fairly. When they deserve criticism, they have it. When they deserve praise, like they have, they get it. We always, when things are going negative, we try and find some things to improve upon. When things are going positive, we find some things to improve upon. Seeing a lot of top four shouts yesterday. Can we relax, please? Top four is still a level ahead of us. Fans, innit? Because they weren't even saying this against Crystal Palace. Like, it's mad. Gabriel, captain for me next season. I would even give him the armband now. Shout. Yeah, I don't know how Laporte is sent off and Evans only got a yellow. I don't know. Because Evans there should have been a totting up process for Evans. Oh, God. But I can't lie. It's clear why Evans is an experienced man. I think that's his first yellow card of the season, or is it second? I think him and next Leicester man. When they brought up the graph, I was like, huh? How? You're getting away with it a lot, man. Just got to go into each game and just play the occasion, rely on our quality, and don't take games for granted. I'd go with that. He played Cavani to save his job. G1 probably, but at the same time, that still proves the point. Sometimes you need the experienced man. It weren't a thing where, think about it, if your back's against the wall, I'm not saying he does or doesn't trust any players that starts. Logically, away from the Old Trafford situation, if you're a manager and your back's against the line and you need to get 3 points, rightly or wrongly, you're going to stick to the players you quote unquote trust. I'm not saying he doesn't trust Sancho, but he doesn't trust him at this moment in time to affect the game. So he's gone with the experienced man. Ronaldo is Ronaldo. He's gone with Cavani. They've done his job. Here you go. There's sometimes them man they are needed in the squad. Fair play. Rashford come off the bench and did his thing. But that's the point. That's the point. You lot are gassing me. All right, vote up the Puskas Awards. Vote up the Puskas Awards. Hey. And if we get back into Europe, full stop, our signings start to get better, my bro. They want Nuno out. Hope not. Nuno's a good manager. Give him time. Give him time. Won the league in August. Give him time. Give him time. Big up the whole chat. The people in the chat contributes a lot to making these streams what they are. All the regular nation dons. Come on. Come on. Do you think you sign anyone in January? I don't know. I hope so. Because the wickedest thing, when you're doing well, yeah, I don't think anyone's this naive. But when you're doing well, man, start saying you don't need to sign this because of that. We got this guy, that guy. For me, can't lie to you. I think you need 2 midfielders. I don't think you're gonna get 2 in January. So if we can get someone, I don't know, a lesser name that can do a job in January, I think you need a midfielder. If you could get a striker, do your thing, but I can't see us finding that. So it don't make sense. Big up DG, still grinding. Great win yesterday. I like this group of young players, but there will be a lot of ups and downs. Facts it is. We're gonna see this, man. West Ham United, Arsenal fighting for top 4. It's like Royal Rumble, innit? It's like Royal Rumble. You might see the 30 guys like Goldberg and Triple H and all them, man. And then you get dons like Scotty Too Hotty and Rikishi. Well, you had Scotty Too Hotty and Rikishi and things. You know they're never getting the WrestleMania ticket, but they've got a lottery ticket. They're in the Royal Rumble, innit? It's one of them. We're Scotty Too Hotty at this moment in time where the top 4 is concerned, man. I thought we played Arsenal in November. It changed. I think maybe because you lot in Europe or whatever, or maybe for TV because it's on Amazon now. I am worried. We have already lost 3 from our first 10. If we end up losing 10 out of 38, we might not make Europa League or Champions League, bro. To make sure it's not the case. And also as well, the goal difference thing. Goals win games, people. You know, goals win games and we're winning games, but is it sustainable, bro? We haven't got -1, you know. Everyone above us is in the plus, bro. United got +4. Helped it out yesterday. You know, West Ham have +6. Is there any point to talking about City and Liverpool? They're in the +20 region. Liverpool and Chelsea. Right, City only got +14. Therefore, Liverpool got Salah. Well, Reece James is doing a Mazza as well. Wouldn't have thought City would be behind Chelsea in that regards, but they are. So we're struggling to score goals, people. You know, goals win you games, and we're going to need to find that. And it's obviously at the feet of the typical ones. Every attacking player needs to do a lot more. But same way, we probably ain't got enough individual brilliance for me for top 4 because there's going to be games, you know, where you just need the tactics thing is poor, everything, but we just need to get dug out, paused by other people. Scary hours. Joe Willock stands, where are you? Tried to tell, man. I worry we struggled keeping possession and intensity in the second half, and this has happened a lot recently. And this is where it's game management now. I need the players to manage themselves on the pitch, whether it's Partey saying, yo, listen, Smith Rowe or Odegaard or Lokonga, calm down. Listen, keep the ball. Stop running up and down now. Or someone just telling Tavares, just chill, man. Like, or even Saka, because Saka's guilty of it, Bear. He's winning corners, and we're taking it quickly. There's 2 minutes before the half is done. Bearing in mind, we could get countered attack, or there's free kicks and we're taking it quick. Let's just slowing the game down. And that's actually one thing I'm disappointed with Arteta, because we're not really up there for them thing there. And when you look at Pep Guardiola historically, for as great as he is as a manager, bro, his teams are up there for yellow cards and stopping. We probably are out there for yellow cards and stopping play and tactical things. And Jose Mourinho was great at it as well. Even little things like water breaks and whatnot. I fear no team below us in the table. Above us, only fear with the top 6. I think that's your biggest fear. I think we give a healthy respect and fear to everyone. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I don't think Arsenal's earned that place. I look behind us. Leicester can definitely do bits, you know. Brighton can do bits. Bro, Spurs could go on a run. You never know. Everton could go on a run. You can't disrespect. No, bro, there's 20 games left. Right? It don't matter where you are at this moment in the table. Obviously, you want to be as high as you can. But last time I checked, the league don't done in October. There's 20 games left. Over 20 games yet left in that regards. So it's a mazza. Pep Teta, shout out to you. What a name. The boy Tomiyasu is yet to taste defeat. Boy, come on. Yet to taste the grass as well. Man said 84 points, bro. DG, hope you're well. What's your thoughts on Tavares? Big up Tavares for yesterday. First half decent defensive test I felt, and he came out. He came with it. He did his thing. So yeah, man, did his thing. Spurs, bro. Like I said, them man there won the league. We have some good performance, but need to be realistic. DG, what's your prediction for West Ham Villa? I want West Ham to win. You know, I like Villa, but yeah, man. I actually like West Ham. They got Mikel Antonio, man. That's my guy. Jamaican international. I can't look beyond West Ham. Villa's form has been a bit woeful. I can't really see how it improves, but fair play. They're doing their thing. So I'd say a West Ham win, but anything can happen. And you've seen some shockers already in the league this week, people. You know, obviously Liverpool probably be kicking themselves the fact that they never took full points, especially because Chelsea won and also City lost. So anything can happen, and that's another reason for someone whoever just said I don't look at teams below us. I'm sure Klopp and Pep don't say that, and look what happened. So dangerous territory, and that might be the same inexperience that the boys show, and that was obviously going to come back to harm you. It can always get mad. Love for the super chat. How Evans only got a yellow when Laporte got a red? Broski, when you find out, let me know, man. Man said DG and that Nuno drip on FM killed me. Make sure you're checking out the Football Manager content. He don't know how to use Sancho, bro. He don't know how to use yourself, bro. I bet you that pause. I bet you them man there don't even know how to pee properly. Bare piss stains on their boxes and that. But shout out to Ollie for winning yesterday. Thoughts on Gallagher? I like his style. I like his tenacity. He can actually play further forward. I don't know in the professional game if he's going to get that, but definitely when I was preying him in Chelsea's academy, he did his thing. I don't know if he makes the grade at Chelsea, but he's going to have a Premier League career. Like him a lot. Very honest footballer. Is Gabriel top 10 Premier League centre back? Yeah, 100%. What, can we be shameless and throw in top 5? Who's better than him? You know? There's only certain men I'm trying to hear. I can't lie. I don't want to praise Spurs, but I really like Romero. Discount because of the way Spurs are playing, but Romero's good. You can't sit here and cap. You know, I think Varane hasn't been that amazing, but Varane's quality, and no coincidence he's back and they keep a clean sheet, among other things. Gabriel's there, without a doubt. That's free, man. Ruben Diaz is there. I'd say Laporte is there. Probably a Van Dijk, without a doubt. I'd probably say Matip's there as well. His name might not be glamorous, but whenever I see him play, he does well. So, yeah, man, it's nice to have players that are in the conversation, man. But I'm ready to be shameless. Best in the league. Tierney, best in the league. Ramsdale, best in the league. Fucking Aubameyang, best in the league. Imagine if he was Harry Kane. What would be said? Them ones there, man. The more we see Gabriel, the more impressed I am. We got him for the price we did. What a gem. And the thing is with Gabriel, I'm seeing a different Gabriel now. He still needs to develop and he's still young, which people didn't remember last year. But he's knowing that, cool, I've got to be the David Luiz now. No one's here to hold my hand. I've got to hold these lot's hands now. And I'm liking it. 17 goals for and 17's 4 and 4 against in the last 9 games. DG, our first 3 games were wrecked our difference, but we're better now. We are, but the one consistency is we're still not scoring goals like that, if I'm honest with you. And saying that, in our last 2 games, we've got 5 goals. So yeah, man. Well, yeah, big up Chelsea. I can't ignore Chelsea's. Rudiger's there. But it's off the top of my head. Allow me, man. You know? And shout out to Chelsea defensively. Shout out Rudiger, he's there as well. Gabriel's in the shout then, I guess. Allow me, man. I'm there trying to entertain you lot, see what your comments are. And You lot Adela, he's forgot it. Jeez Louise, the internet is harsh, bro. Reece James, that finish where he's cut in and then he just the left peg. Ay. And to be fair, Reece James, I've seen him probably about when he's 9 years of age because he used to play in a family friend. His family friend used to play for Chelsea, same age group. It don't surprise me. Like he was one of the, I seen him. He play up front, play everywhere. Like he was a madman. You can't fear any team in the Premier League. You have to have a healthy respect for teams. And fear isn't a bad thing. Fear is what keeps people alive, You'd be surprised what fear can do. Sometimes being fearless is what gets you killed, but it is what it is. Yes, DG, a beautiful day. We need to stop looking for media/refs. They hate us like raw cod liver oil. Back in the day, we had to kill teams outright. They hate us, and you know why. And for me, it's just like what I was told playing football in Hackney Marsh. You play to the whistle. The refs is Kalam. I'm not saying this right. I don't know how Evans ain't sent off. It is what it is, though. There's no easy games in the league. It's facts. Reece James earned the right to wear low socks. I'm not your friend, Atomic Whisper. You try to do me dirty, boy. My FPL rocking with James. Bro, I remember I took Reece James out a couple weeks ago. L's upon L's, man. DG, if Arsenal sign a striker in Jan, who would you go for? I don't think we sign one, man. There aren't many, and only the only centre backs better than Gabriel or the household names in the Premier, if anything. So that's a look in the right direction, isn't it? There's no Mickey Mouse ones. That's why I just actually, you know what? For me, it's just I just like having players that are competent, man. Like it's just nice to have a couple of competent players. Apparently, Xhaka is training without his leg brace. People make of that what you want. Arsenal have scored 5 goals from corners in 4 games. Again, shout out to the set piece coach, Carl. You finally started doing what you're paid for. And looking a bit more solid. Oh, these kids are outside playing. But ain't it school tomorrow, man? This kid ain't got no homework to be doing, man. He running up and down making bare noise. I'm getting too old, man. How can I be grumpy that kids are outside playing? If that ball gets kicked over into my garden, I'm not giving it to you. When's the next FM stream? Difficult. Probably tomorrow, Tomorrow on Twitch. Make sure you're pre-in your schedules. Appreciate the Kenyans locked in. Gonna get some lunch before the big 2 p.m. relegation battle. What do you think of El Nesri? Baller still. I like him, But I ain't just one of them where I've got to be confirmed. Like, I can't lie. I like Vlahovic a lot. But even me, like I've been going through some of the games I've got recorded, and I think Fiorentina versus who did they play? It might have been the Lazio. I got that one recorded. I think that might have been a couple weeks ago. He needs too much service. Like he's being anonymous unless the ball's kind of given to him at feet. Where a lot of strikers are like that, but you get the point, man. Xhaka's walking back in. Xhaka's like a new sign in them times there, man. Xhaka is inevitable. You lot cannot defeat him. You lot need to give up. You can't defeat Xhaka. Like, allow it. You lot just need to stop with all of that. But I did, on a serious note, want to speak about something, people. Leicester versus Arsenal playoff thoughts. Now, this is just my general thoughts on the game, on a couple of thoughts, people. Very quickly. If I look at it, my first talking point would be Lokonga needs to be eased in, but he hasn't got that luxury. I think Lokonga is too blinkered. I think sometimes he wants too much time on the ball. Sometimes the passing isn't quite there. Sometimes there's a mistiming of tackles. Make no mistake, I like the guy. But playing to this higher level and stuff, I think he needs time to really show his best. Sometimes it's like, when you don't know that you don't know certain things because this is the levels in it. He doesn't know, but he has it, and I still believe in him for what it's worth. Don't misunderstand me, but he hasn't got that luxury. End of the day, there's injuries, there's AFCON coming, is what it is. He deserves his place in the team, but I just feel Lokonga needs to be eased in a bit, and he's not quite there yet, and we need to take our time with him. But at the end of the day, we don't have that time. I was impressed with Thomas Partey because, quite frankly, he bossed it. And this is what Partey is there for. As I said, he didn't get no praise no love really for mopping up after Ramsdale's made the fantastic save, winning the ball back for ultimately Smith Rowe. I just think Partey had a convincing game, really, and that was the Partey I want to see. Gabriel's the king of our defense, as we've been speaking about. You know, he is a monster in defense, and he's pocketed any team he's played, apart from City. He's pocketed United defense strikers prior. You know, he's pocketed Watkins and Ben White as well. He's pocketed Watkins and Ings and Kane and all of these sort of things, Barnes and all these man there. Any sort of credible man, Gabriel's a beast, and he's in a nice way. He's a nice bastard. Like, he's not nasty, but he will get nasty if it has to be. And you've seen it when Watkins tried the thing. You've seen it. Like, you can't move to him, really and truly. Ben White is starting to show his qualities. I think with Ben White, can we work on stop giving fouls away in key areas? Because he's done that a couple of times now. You know, just where the semicircle is near our area. Can he stop giving them fouls away, you know? Because, again, before Maddison's taking that free kick, I think there was one prior where it went into the wall. Got to stop giving free kicks away in that area, Ben White. But other than that, good game. Ramsdale, without a doubt, is probably one of the biggest characters in that dressing room. I know he's humble. Without a doubt, he's captain material already for me. I think it's a fair fight for Tavares and Tini down the left-hand side. I think Tavares had a 1-2 moments I'm looking at him saying what's going on there defensively, but I think other than that, he had a great game against Leicester. That was the first game I felt was a big test for him, and he came, and I know he started against Villa, but I think he came out of it. Now for me, it's a difficult decision because I think Tavares has earned the right to start against Watford, but for me, if Tierney's fit, definitely where Liverpool's concerned, that's my man. But there's two options. There's two people fighting for left back now. And, you know, whether it's been Leno in goal, historically Bellerin, now Tierney to a degree, competition can only breed competitiveness, which is only good if we're all competitive and we're all comrades and stuff. But there's an element of I want to play games, is what it is. I think Odegaard will start against Watford and Lacazette will be dropped out. But I think Odegaard firmly at this moment in time should be on the bench. I think Smith Rowe has eclipsed him in recent weeks. I think Lacazette deserves to stay. I'd probably be looking at inserting another winger before shoehorning them man into the team together. But I do like what Odegaard and Smith Rowe do when they play together. But I don't think Odegaard's grabbed any games by their neck. I'm not really talking about really directly yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, more's required from Saka. He scored a corner and scored for. He set up the goal we scored from a corner, but I need a bit more across 90 minutes because I think he was fantastic in the first half. Looked a bit jaded and a bit tired in the second and needed to be subbed before it happened. But that's where I'm at with them, really and truly. That's just a couple of player thoughts that I just wanted to spit off to you guys, people. And obviously on that as well, people, you know, yesterday was a fantastic time for Saka because that was his 100th appearance for the club. And at 20 years of age, you know, you can't not give, you know, so you have to credit Saka. Saka's made 100 apps, and I'm proud of him, man. I could start crying, man. You know, the game, regardless of what Saka could score for Arsenal in the Champions League final, and the game I remember the most vivid was the Checo trade. Any game he played in the Checo trades as a 23s, because he was just badding it up. And actually, Man United for the under 18s away from home when he was a schoolboy. But what a fantastic rise for Bukayo Saka, man. You know, he's still not got 100 Premier League appearances, but he's played 100 times for Arsenal Football Club, which again, anyone that does that, you have to applaud him. The next step, obviously, is to learn to score and assist, because you're going to live or die by that. In another world, if Arsenal was in a different situation, you could have been dropped. If England was in a different situation, you might have been dropped. But yeah, goals and assists. But even that, in the last couple of weeks, he hasn't been at his best like that, but he's still affected games and done things. So it tells you everything, you know. There's a level of expectation on Saka now, which again shows how fantastic he is. You know, the little Chile's been a fantastic player. You know, 100 games for Arsenal, not even 100 Premier League appearances, and you're firmly a player for club and country. Can be proud of yourself. I mean, the man's a terrific footballer, man, and I really enjoy watching Saka. And I can't find my comments, but I actually... Where are they? The hell are they? Because I actually had some Saka comments I wanted to make. I actually went and looked at, you know, his goal and that. Where is it? Yeah, people. Like I said, he's going to live or die by goals. He's got 1 goal in his last 10 games. That needs to improve. His shooting and his corners historically need to improve. You know, he's got, for Arsenal Football Club, you know, bearing in mind there was a time when he was playing fullback and whatnot. 69 appearances in the league, people. He's got 11 goals and 7 assists, I think. You know, And now people are involved, and he's still involved in everything we do, but people are watching you now. And again, moving closer to 100 appearances in the league. He's got 13 caps for club and country. He's got 13 goals for Arsenal in all comps. 13 goals for Arsenal in all comps. And I mean, I'm proud of this man. I've seen him initially what started off in the Europa League. You know, you've seen him play left back, left wing, right wing, 10, cam, you know, left centre mid. I've seen him do it all really. So I'm proud of Bukayo Saka, and long may it continue. And you can, you know, it's a dream. 20 years of this is what the academy is there to produce. Now in your next 100, we need to see a lot more, if I'm honest with you. And obviously where Saka's concerned, I can't lie, I think that's a contract. I don't know if it's a priority, but for me, you know, Saka's probably in line to get a new deal, because when he signed his last one, he's arguably improved and become even better now. He's become an England international and whatnot. So yeah, happy to see what these young lads are doing. Proud of Bukayo Saka, man. Ridiculous. I'm shameless. 2 on the Saka agendas. Much love to our little chili. Bro, Saka, I can't lie, I'm biased. Saka can do certain things and I'll say, it's all right. Certain other players do it. Madness is coming on in these shows. Needs to get the numbers up, man. Appreciate all the members. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, people. But yeah, man, unfortunately, you know, I've got to go and tend to this other laptop, see what's wrong with it. So actually I can do this video for you lot, because what could have been, we should have really, Ramsdale for England, we hit the like button if you haven't. You know, we should have been reviewing this from a tactical point of view. No worries, curveballs in life happen. So you know what, we'll deal with it accordingly. So yeah, at some point today, you're going to have your own individual Leicester and Arsenal tactical vid, where obviously I'll pull everything left, right and centre and do what I typically do. I apologize for the technical difficulties at the start. We made it happen regardless, people. And you know, each and every time, big up yourselves for that, people. Without you lot, this thing would be pointless, man. You know, an hour and 45 minutes has just flown by, man. Without you lot, it would be rubbish. And you know, I appreciate you lot. We've got up to 42,000 subscribers this week. It's been a great week, capped off with Arsenal winning, Spurs losing, Oli keeping his job, Palace and Brighton doing dirt, you know, getting raided on Twitch by Fabrizio Romano, appearing on Arsenal's official one as well, Arsenal's official Twitch page. The numbers in the last watch-alongs in particular have been good. We've had a real good week, and it wouldn't be that without you lot, people. You know, I'm not just saying that. Honestly, it's a pleasure to be here, and I feel proud, you know, to be here speaking about football with you lot, because yeah, man, it's fantastic to sit here and do exactly that. Tomorrow, though, at 11:30, make sure you're here. We'll be reviewing 11:30 a.m. same time. We'll review October, and we'll preview November, and talk about any other Arsenal talking points that arrive. Like I said to you lot, people, you know, as much as I love you lot on YouTube, you know, make sure you're supporting the thing on Twitch. One love to everyone who's there. We're at 2.8k, where that one's concerned, and I'll be doing Aston Villa versus West Ham on that. So make sure you join me there, people. It's only a great stream because of you lot, man. You know, I appreciate the praise, man. Big up to you lot. Trust me. Shout out to Frimpong for lying. You get me? You was there. I defo won that quiz. But for now, everybody stay safe, stay blessed. Hope you have a good weekend, whatever's left of it, wherever you guys are. Stay in good health. And yeah, man, love and leave you. I'm back again at 4 p.m. on Twitch for Aston Villa, West Ham, and them things there. On that note, peace.
There's always that active when defending.
I think it's like